Good morning, Year 6. Okay, so we are going to be looking at our new book, The London Eye Mystery. Now, before we start to read this book, I want you to spend some time really looking at the front cover, unpicking what might this book be about, what might we already know. So I'd like you to just think about that front cover, and I'd like you to note down as many things as you can tell me from the front cover. So just from looking at that front image of the front cover and the piece of text on there that says what goes up must come down, mustn't it? I'd like you to think about what are the clues from the front cover. What do you know about the book? Where is it set? How do you know? Now remember, in order for you to infer something from the front cover, you need to be able to give me the evidence from that front cover. So you might say that I know the book is set in London because the London Eye is in London, and I can also see Big Ben on the front cover. So you need to give me your reason for knowing it and the piece of evidence from the text or the front cover. Okay, and what knowledge do you already have? So do you know anything about London? Okay, do you know any facts about the London Eye that you think might be useful throughout this text? So really think about predicting what is going to happen throughout this text. Now, once you've done that, okay, I'd like you to gather together some of your ideas, and I'd like you to write a sentence to predict what you think is going to happen in the book. Now, if that takes you more than one sentence, then that's absolutely fine. Okay, but I'd like you to put together a prediction, giving your evidence from the front cover. Okay, please remember all of the basics when you're writing your sentence. Okay, I am expecting to see later when you send it through to me on Class Dojo, I am expecting to see capital letters, full stops, clear handwriting. Okay, all of those things that you know are the expected standard. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video and complete that activity. Then once you finish that, I'd like you to play the video again and continue with the next activity. Okay. So now you've made your predictions from the front cover, we're going to read the text together. Please follow with me so that you fully understand this text. Chapter 1, a giant bicycle wheel in the sky. My favourite thing to do in London is to fly the eye. On a clear day, you can see for 25 miles in all directions because you are in the largest observation wheel ever built. You are sealed into one of 32 capsules with strangers who are next to you in the queue, and when they close the doors, the sound of the city is cut off. You begin to rise. The capsules are made of glass and steel, and you are hung from the rim of the wheel. As the wheel turns, the capsules use the full force of gravity to stay upright. It takes 30 minutes to go a full circle. From the top of the ride, Kat says London looks like Toy Town, and the cars on the roads below look like abacus beads going left and right and stopping and starting. I think London looks like London, and the cars like cars, only smaller. The best thing to see from up there is the River Thames. You can see how it loops and curves, but when you're on the ground, you think it's straight. The next best thing to look at is the spokes and metallic hawsers of the eye itself. You are looking at the only cantilevered structure of its kind on Earth. It is designed like a giant bicycle wheel in the sky, supported by a massive A-frame. It is also interesting to watch the capsules on either side of yours. You see strangers looking out, just like you are doing. The capsule that is higher than yours becomes lower than yours, and the capsule that is lower becomes higher. You have to shut your eyes because it makes a strange feeling go up your esophagus. You are glad the movement is smooth and slow. And then your capsule goes lower, and you are sad because you do not want the ride to end. You'd like to go round one more time, but it's not allowed. So you get out feeling like an astronaut coming down from space, a little lighter than you were. We took Salim to the eye because he'd never been up before. A stranger came up to us in the queue, offering us a free ticket. We took it and gave it to Salim. We shouldn't have done this, but we did. He went up on his own at 11:32, the 24th of May, and was due to come down at 12:02 the same day. He turned and waved to Kat and me as he boarded, but you couldn't see his face, just his shadow. They sealed him in with 20 other people whom we didn't know. Kat and I tracked Salim's capsule as it made its orbit. When it reached its highest point, we both said, "Now!" at the same time, and Kat laughed and I joined in. That's how we knew we'd been tracking the right one. We saw the people bunch up as the capsule came back down, facing northeast towards the automatic camera for the souvenir photograph. There were just dark bits of jackets, legs, dresses and sleeves. Then the capsule landed. The doors opened and the passengers came out in twos and threes. They walked off in different directions. Their faces were smiling. Their paths probably never crossed again. But Salim wasn't amongst them. We waited for the next capsule, and the next, and the one after that. He still didn't appear. Somewhere, somehow, in the 30 minutes of riding the eye, in his sealed capsule, he had vanished off the face of the earth. This is how having a funny brain that runs on a different operating system from other people's helped me to figure out what happened. Okay, so that is chapter 1 of our book. Now, based on that, what I'd like you to think about are these things. What did you like about the book, what you've just heard? You can include some of the things that you know from the front cover. What did you dislike? Okay, is there anything you dislike already, or is there anything you think as we're going through the book that you are going to dislike about this book? Now, puzzles, that's where I'd like you to put any questions that you've got. Anything that is puzzling you, anything you're unsure of, anything that you've got unanswered at the moment, and you should have lots of questions from that from that first chapter and the front cover. And then the connections and patterns. So, have you read a book that's similar? Have you watched a film where someone goes missing? There, it's a bit of a detective story. They're trying to find out what's happened. Okay, so I'd like you to think about those things. You could set that out in the grid as it's shown on here, or if you'd like to just write it under the subheadings of likes, dislikes, puzzles, patterns, you can do that. These can be bullet pointed, and I look forward to seeing you upload some pictures of your work later on Class Dojo, and I will get back to you with some feedback. Thank you very much.